Well, hello, my crochet friends. Are you guys ready to go through my stack of Herrschner's catalogs so we can go yarn shopping? Yeah. Okay. So today is Thursday, June 5th. Okay. And I actually just got an email from Herrschner's the other day saying that while they are having a massive yarn sale, they are also discounting shipping. And I want to say it's like spend $60 and you get free shipping, and then spend half of that and its shipping is $4.99. I want to say, but I will check before I finish this video, okay, on what the current sale is, okay, because it's only going up until like June 6th or 7th, so it's only in another couple days. All right, so this is a stack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 catalogs, okay? Now, because I do order from Herrschner's, they send me the catalogs, but they send them out seasonally. So it'll be winter, spring, summer, and fall, okay? And they'll send one out for the season, and it'll say, like this one says, Fall 2023, down here in the corner. And then everyone after this, when it's still the fall season, they put supplements around the front and back covers to show you more stuff that is on sale. Here, this one, Spring 2024. Okay, but it has this second cover, which is a supplement, which will show you things that are currently on sale for that week or that month, even though it's still in the spring. Okay, so that's it. Most of these are actually for the current season, which is spring of 2025. That's what all these are. There's like 8 of them there. So this is like the current year. And these are ones that I found around my house as I've been decluttering other areas of my house. And I'm one of those people who have a massive pile of paper in my house. Not just mail that comes in and important documents, but just, I like writing notes, and I like stationery, and I like pens and markers and crayons, you know. So, I will find... The Herrschner's, like one of these catalogs was actually out in my van, tucked in between the seats for those nights when I used to go pick the kids up from work before they got driver's licenses and their own cars. Like this one here, it's all wrinkled because it was tucked in between my seats so I could look at it while I was waiting for the kids to get out of work. Okay, you'll find them at there's a pile of papers on my desk. There will be one on the bottom of the pile. There'll be one on the top of the pile. You'll find them upstairs in my bedroom on my bedside table. You'll find one out in the kitchen for when I'm cooking and there's a little bit of time, and I'll flip through the catalog, right? So that's how I always have a massive pile, and then when I declutter, I just throw them away, okay? Because, you know, the sales are over. But I still love flipping through it. Like if I'm having a stressful day, or I don't know, maybe a down day or a dark day. Sometimes it doesn't really matter, but I find I get a lot of enjoyment of flipping through the catalog, looking at yarns I haven't used, right, that I would like to. The yarns that I've been using for years to see if they have any new colors. I usually skip the parts in the middle where all the books are at, and the hooks and the stitch markers. I skip the puzzles, cross-stitching. Yeah, for me, it's all about the yarn and all about the crochet. So, I was going to do their most recent one, which is the spring of 2025, because I don't have summer of 2025 yet, because it's not officially summertime yet. But I wanted to show you my nice big stack of Herrschner's catalogs. Now, Herrschner's, I looked them up many, many years ago. Like on the front here, it says 124 years of handmade memories. So Herrschner's is a company that goes back a long way, back to when the original person who started it, they were doing sewing notions like needle and thread and buttons and possibly fabric. And then to get out to people who lived away from the cities you know, they have their little cart, they have their little horse, and they would travel, you know, to sell things. And then they created a pamphlet or stuff that would be put in the mail, and you can order from them through the mail. And it kind of stayed that way for like, what, 100 years, you know? And then you can also, you know, back in modern times in the 70s and the 80s, call them and place an order. But now, you know, because we are who we are, right? We do everything on the internet. I've been using Herrschner's for what, 10, 15 years now at their .com. So I'm always getting catalogs in the mail, and I love them. But I can't keep them all. So, let's turn this camera around, and we'll pick the most recent one, and we will flip through it and say, ooh, I like that, and ooh, I've used that, that's nice, and ew, I used that and I didn't like that. So my most recent one says they're having a mega clearance, a mega sale up to 75% off. But this is what it looks like, because they were introducing their new, probably polyester velvet type yarn, and they're calling it squishy. So yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3. Look at all those with the squishy on the front. They were really, really advertising their squishy yarn. Okay. I think this one on the top is my most recent one. I think that's why I left it on the top, so we could go through this one. Okay, so I've tried a few different camera angles, and I think this is the best that I'm going to get it. I don't have an official overhead mount. Not yet, anyway. So this is whatever they had on sale when they sent this to me, I don't know, a week or two ago. They got this eyelash yarn. I've never been a fan of the eyelash yarn. And it looks like they've got a bunch of cotton on the front. Ooh, this. Nob Hill Lofty Tweed. Tweedy Flex. Homespun Appeal. 91% acrylic, 8% polyester, and 1% spandex blend. What would you use that for? Don't know, but oh, I think they made a blanket out of it. That's kind of neat. Alright, so yeah, they call it their stock up sale, which makes sense because we all just buy yarn and put it in our stash, right? Whoa, look, they got some Caron cakes. It's a Caron cake assortment. Fill up on cake yarns and crochet hooks too. With this special value priced bundle, yarns and colors vary, but each pack will include 4 Caron cakes. Plus, you will also receive a free set of 3 crochet hooks, a size H, I, and J, $24.99. So that was 50% off. Yeah, but see, I would want to know what kind of cakes would be in there because I'm not a big fan of cotton, so it'd be completely wasted on me. Have you guys ever bought any assortment packages like this from any of the yarn companies? Or mill ends? Like this one down here is a hodgepodge yarn pack. Alright, so what did they have on the back cover that was part of their sale? Yarn for school colors. College and high school. Well, yeah, if y'all see my address up there, please ignore that. I'll tell you where I live, but just ignore it. Ooh, I like this Premier Serenity Chunky Candy. I think I have some Premier Chunky in my stash that's actually, I don't know, 10 years old. So I'm curious how this would match up with what I've got in my stash. Because I was working on a project and I think I'd bought mine at AC Moore before it closed down. So I didn't know that Premier actually kept making their number 5 bulky. But I like these colors though. The camera picking those up? Daisies, primary, confetti, raindrops, wildflower, and sprinkles. Oh, I think I'd like to see those. And of course, the Premier Sweet Rolls. I have Sweet Rolls in my stash and made a blanket out of them, but this is their number 6 super bulky. I don't know. I'm not typically a big fan of the bulky yarns, the 5s, the 6s, the 7s. I find, because I'm a blanket maker, that I actually need a lot of yarn, and the prices of bulky yarn is usually too much for me to make a blanket. How about this frilly yarn? My mom's a fan of frilly yarn. She uses it when she does purses and bags. She uses it as trim. And then look at the Lion Brand yarn that they had on sale. Like Lion Brand Baby Soft. I like the Baby Soft. They have Basic Stitch, Chenille Appeal, and Respun Roving. So this is part of the supplement that goes around the outside of what they were having on sale. So there's squishy yarn, exclusively by Herrschner's. Okay, so this front page has to do with color blocking. I actually like to color block. I'm not a big fan of thin stripes of colors or strips of color. I like big blocks of color. Like this one here, for this sweater, you know, there's a big block of color, another block, and another block. This is more of a striping, but it's thicker stripes, so I like that. Oh, look at, see, on these first couple pages, they have blanket patterns. Floral Fantasy Afghan, that's pretty. And then their Afghan yarn, which I'm actually a fan of the Herrschner's Afghan yarn. It's a number 2 fine. All right. I actually have a blanket on my couch that I used this, and this is what I've decided to use to make my sweater that I've been wanting to make for the last year or two. A sweater based off of my most favorite sweat jacket. So I need black, and I'm going to go with the Herrschner's 2-ply Afghan yarn, and I'm going to hold it double with some number 1 wool that I have. I have a whole plan, but they've got a good assortment of colors. And then they have, it's still the Afghan yarn, the 2-ply Afghan yarn, and they've got it in what they call retro colors. So it's supposed to feel like the 60s or the 70s. But what I really like is this blanket right here, this Ripple Afghan, because I like the colors in there, and these colors are their retro colors. So this really speaks to me. You guys know I love to use a lot of color in my blankets. I really like this. Okay, so we're still doing Herrschner's yarn. They have their worsted weight. Worsted weight. I can't say the word worsted without saying weight, but they're calling it worsted 8, and it's their neon colors. I actually have the color Vegas in my stash because I use that in my Patrick Squares blanket. But I do like the specs that they have over here. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. And then they have gradient yarn. I haven't tried out the gradient yarn yet. And then they have stripes, which I do like a lot of the colors in these stripes. I would like to try this out because I love all those colors. And then look at the wooden accessories, right? I actually kind of like these. Kind of look like toilet paper holders or paper towel holders to hold your yarn. I don't know, this one right here, from working with small little balls of yarn, I think that would be kind of neat. Let's see, they've got some heathered yarn. I haven't tried that out yet either. But I'm liking the way that the colors look here in this blanket that they have. And then Herrschner's worsted 8 yarn. Ah, God, I can't talk today. So their worsted 8 is actually a number 4 medium worsted weight yarn. And they call it 8 because it's an 8-ounce skein. I remember when Red Heart Super Saver used to be an 8-ounce skein, and then shrinkflation, it became 7 ounces, and then it became 6 ounces, and 6 ounces is now our standard for a skein of yarn. But Herrschner's still makes 8-ounce skeins, and I like that. I appreciate that very much. So 226 grams, 489 yards. They do not put the meters on there. But, I mean, it's not the best quality yarn. I mean, I do have some of it in my stash. I have the peachy color in my stash. And I have one of these blues. Actually, I cannot remember which blue I have in my stash. It's not the best quality. I mean, it's 100% acrylic, when acrylic is a man-made fiber. So, it's not the softest, but I mean, still gets the job done, right? I do have, I think I have some of these variegated colors here. I have Morning Dew, and I have Macchiato. And I love them. I love these colors. But I mean, that's a good color selection for any project. I think that's a good amount of colors. I like that. And yeah, okay, they're yarn for school colors. I typically skip this page because I really don't like the school colors. The navy and gold, orange and navy, red and black, green and gold. Like, our high school is navy and gold, or blue and gold. But I'm not a big fan of the way that these school colors are done. Okay, so Herrschner's also now has an anti-pilling acrylic yarn. I haven't tried that out yet. Celebrations. So, the holidays. We've got Pastel Parade, Sweetheart, Foliage Fiesta, Merry and Bright, Lucky Charm, Star Spangled, Trick or Treat, and New Year's Eve. So, let's see. Easter, Valentine's Day, Christmas, just autumn, I think. The 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, New Year's, and Halloween. And it's got threads of glitter in it. So they also have something similar down here where it doesn't have the silver thread for glitter. And they have Easter, Valentine's, Harvest, Birthday, Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, and Patriotic. I would love to try out some of these variegated colors down here. Not necessarily for the holiday that it represents, but because I love good variegated colors. So when Herrschner says Herrschner's worsted 3, it is still a number 4 medium worsted weight yarn, but it's only 3 ounces. Why anybody would buy just 3 ounces of yarn when they sell it in an 8-ounce skein, I'll never know, because a lot of these colors are in the 8-ounce skeins. I guess maybe if you're working on smaller projects, but yeah, because $1.77 on sale, I guess that's not too bad. And then worsted 12, because that's 12 ounces of yarn. Now let's see if we can find a different company other than Herrschner's. Yeah, okay. Now we can start with some Premier Puzzle. I've had Premier Puzzle in my stash. I found this color crossword at my local thrift store. There was 4 balls of it, and I used it. Now, I like the yarn itself, the texture and working with it, yeah. But what I didn't like was this color crossword. I really just did not like it by the time I was done working with it. So I'm wondering if the colors were just too dark for me, since I'm in my era of using pastels and lighter shades. But I mean, it is a nice yarn to work with. And I know I keep saying I'm not a big fan of cotton. I always struggle working with cotton, but this here, 57% acrylic and a 43% cotton blend. I'm really liking these colors. Carnival, Sherbet, Sunrise, Taffy. I'm kind of liking those colors. So then a Premier Everyday DK Anti-Pilling and Premier Everyday. I do have some Premier Everyday in my stash. I also have it when they had Deborah Norville doing Premier Everyday. I got some old variegated colors from AC Moore from back in like 2015. I've got that in my stash. I do like Premier yarns. I think Premier is because it's hard to make acrylic yarn to be good quality, but I think Premier does a really good job of making the yarn soft and durable. I'm not sure how it washes up yet. I should do some experiments. So that's a good amount of colors they've got here for their DK weight, which is number 3 light. It is, let's see, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 273 yards for $4.99. I don't know, is that a good price for that amount of yarn? Those are some good colors too. I'm liking that brown over there. I'm always looking for a good warm brown. So a lot of these colors here are also here in their number 4 medium weight for their everyday. I like their painterly colors. Yeah, I'm a big fan of those. And then Premier Basic Collection. Their number 4 medium weight. That's a lot of colors right there. That's a good amount of colors. And then their Premier Basic DK weight. $2.99 a ball here. $3.99 over here for solids. $4.49 for multis and marls. I have any Premier Basic? Oh, I do. Funny thing is, I do have some Premier Basic, but I've got it in this Christmas color. It's called Merry. Red, green, and white. I have that in my stash. And then Premier Basic Chunky, Premier Basic Super Bulky, Chenille Brights. And for those of you who do love the bulkies and the chenille and the polyester, I'm sorry if I don't stay there long enough for you to see it. It's just, now, oh, look at that sweater. Oh, I love that. See, I haven't looked at this this catalog yet because I only got it about a week ago. I haven't, and I know that I have like 9 others that have squishy on it, but I don't remember seeing this sweater in there. Oh, I love that. Well, it's a cardigan because sweaters are closed in the front, cardigans are open. Oh, I like that. They made it with the Red Heart all-in-one granny square yarn. Oh, that was a good idea. Oh, I like that. So they have kits where it goes from an extra small to a large for $59.99, an extra large for $69.99, and a 2X to a 5X for $79.99. That's me. I'm in the 2X category. But I mean, seriously, we can look at that picture and reverse engineer it because it's just a simple basic cardigan pattern. But what they did using their granny square all-in-one yarn, that was actually a really good idea. I liked that. We should do that. We should make a sweater. Which, yeah, I'm getting ready to make a sweater. Duh. All right, Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo Speckle. So I do have some speckle in my stash. I've got this pink one, the bubble gum. But I don't have it in the jumbo where it's like 10 ounces. Or maybe I do. I bought it at Walmart. Does Walmart sell the jumbo? I don't know. And then I see the all-in-one granny square. I did pick up a skein of this, I don't know, more than a year ago. It's in my stash. I've never sat with it to work it up to see if I can make that granny square. Of course, right now, looking at all these colors, I have no idea what color I actually have. Okay, and then Red Heart with Love. I love Red Heart with Love. Bubblegum. This is my favorite yarn and is my favorite color, which I have favorites. I have a favorite color for my pink. I love the bubblegum from Red Heart with Love. For yellow, I love the ducky color from Vanna's Choice at Lion Brand. That was my favorite there. I do have a fair amount of Red Heart with Love in my stash. I have had Hollyberry, Corn Silk, Lettuce, Peacock. I've had most of these colors in my stash at some point, and right now I probably have leftovers. So I'm just going to skip the Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo because it's just Red Heart Super Saver in a 14-ounce skein. And Red Heart, America's favorite yarn. Yeah, because didn't we all learn how to crochet with it? So this is Super Glow. What is Super Glow? 100% polyester. Oh, is this the new thing, glow in the dark yarn? Is that what that is? Probably. I know that this is not the best angle. I know that, but it's the best I can do. I hope you guys don't mind. So, Red Heart Super Saver Bitty Stripes. I have not bought any of this yet because Michael's doesn't carry it. Joann's just closed. AC Moore's been closed for 5 years. My Walmart has it, but I'm not a Walmart shopper. Very rare am I even in the area of Walmart, let alone stop at Walmart. So if I ever bought any of the itty bitty stripes, I would have to buy it when it's on sale online. The Super Saver stripes, I do have. They don't have these colors. I have the retro color, and I've worked with it. But it's again, it's just Red Heart Super Saver, but in stripe form. And then the Red Heart Super Saver Ombre. I've had the coral, spearmint, and one of these blue colors. I actually made a blanket with them. It's in my project pile that I haven't finished. And it was when the ombre first came out many, many years ago. So I don't have any of the newer colors and this newer version of it. But I like it. I mean, I like a good ombre or gradient yarn, so this way you don't have to change colors yourself. Ooh, okay. Bernat. 100% polyester super bulky, polyester super bulky, polyester super bulky, and polyester super bulky. Do you guys work with this stuff? Do you like it? Is it worth it? I mean, I like this one here because, of course, it's gradient and ombre. But, I mean, I would not pay $12.99 for a ball of yarn that has only got 200 yards to it. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. Polyester, super bulky, polyester, super bulky. So forgive me, we're just going to keep right on going. To my second favorite yarn company, Caron. Caron Jumbo Ombre. I've had this color, this seashell color. It's got browns and tans and a creamy white, but it's also got a little bit of a dusty purple in it, and I absolutely loved it. And I used it on a border on one of my spider stitch blankets that I made with Premier Sweet Rolls. So sometimes, if the yarn is compatible, you can mix your yarn companies together. So Premier Sweet Rolls with Caron jumbo ombre. I mixed them together, and my blanket came out beautiful. The Karen Jumbo in these variegated, I have had rosewood, which I loved this color. It is tans, white, and like pink. I love this color. It's absolutely beautiful. And whenever I find it on sale, I will pick up another skein of it because it is a 12-ounce skein, which actually lasts me quite a bit because I never put it all in one project. Oh, but I did, sort of. I mixed it with other compatible colors in my waffle stitch blanket. So rosewood. I currently have baby rainbow in my stash. I want berry ice. I have Easter basket in my stash. And I think I just picked up country basket. So I love the Karen Jumbo in these variegated colors. I don't have all of these colors, but I've had 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I want a 5th one. And then Karen 1 pound. I do have Karen 1 pound in my stash. I have it in a golden sunflower color. I'm not a big fan of it because it's a number 4 medium worsted weight yarn, which is what I'm comfortable crocheting with. But I find this stuff to be a bit thicker than a 4. I find it just right there at the edge of being a super thick 4, but a really light, bulky 5. So I have a hard time mixing it with other yarns, okay, because it's a little bit too thick for a number 4 medium worsted weight. But I mean, 16 ounces for $12, I mean, that would go a long way, wouldn't it? But my hands get cramped when I use it. It's too thick for me. And then, let's see, Karen Simply Soft. I love Simply Soft. I know a lot of people don't, but I love it. Heathers, tweeds, speckles, and freckle stripes. You love that. I have had woodland heather, gray heather, charcoal heather. And then taupe and off-white. I only recently picked up some of these speckles. I have, shoot, which one do I have? Maybe they just don't have it listed. I think I do have a speckle, but I don't think Herrschner's has it. And then Simply Soft. At one point in 2015, I bought 1 skein of every color of Karen Simply Soft. And so since it was 2015, I got it. I picked them up at whatever AC Moore had, and then whatever Michaels had, if Michaels carried Simply Soft at the time. Joann's, which Joann's had, and then I used Yarnspirations and Herrschner's to fill in all the gaps because I couldn't get all the colors at my stores. So this is actually a smaller sampling than what I had. At some point I had 1 of every single color, and I probably still do. I probably still have all these in my Simply Soft stash. Strawberry and watermelon are my 2 favorite pink colors. The autumn red is my favorite red color. The light country peach, gold, which is a golden yellow color. I love that. The pistachio, this picture does not do this justice. This has got it a bit more of an olive color. Pistachio does not look like that in person, and I love the pistachio. Pagoda, which is a darker sea blue. I love that. The cobalt blue. Robin's egg and blue mint. I love those. Out of the purples, I think grape. I think I have like 4 skeins of grape in my stash. And of course the white, the off-white, the bone. The chocolate is a good warm brown. Yeah. I really love Karen Simply Soft. So while Herrschner's does sell yarn from Burnett, Red Heart, they won't have all the colors. I guess it's, and I don't know why. I would just be guessing as to why they don't sell all the colors. Oh, Lion Brand Homespun. You either love it or you hate it. And I fall into the category of I really don't like it. Lion Brand Heartland. I do like Heartland, but this is the thick and quick. I have the standard 4 medium worsted weight of the Heartland. I don't think I've tried it in the thick and quick yet. Those are some pretty colors though. I like how Lime Brand, for their Heartland line, that they name it after geography. North Cascades, White Sands, Redwood, like the Redwood Forest, Rocky Mountains. So I have some of the colors that were discontinued a couple of years ago. I might have some of the newer colors. The Heartland comes and goes in and out of my stash because I use it and I don't ever document it for whatever reason. Ooh, the Lime Brand mandala. Now, I would love to have one cake of every color. I love this yarn so much, and I do not have enough of it in my stash. So let's see, it is 100% acrylic. It is 5.3 ounces, 150 grams, 590 yards in the cake, okay? Now, they recommended a size H for a hook, but it's a number 3 light DK weight yarn. I would not use such a big hook. I would use an F or a G, maybe even an E, depending on what I was doing. So I've had the color Pegasus. That's in my stash. It's a project that was started years ago and never finished. Wow, they got all kinds of new colors. Pixie, I have that. I mixed the Pixie with Pegasus, so that's in my stash with a project that was never finished. I think I had something similar to Thunderbird, unless it's the same color but they changed the name. Centaur, oh, I love that one. Wizard, oh, Chimera, I have that. But I love the do you guys say mandala or mandala? I go back and forth between the two. But yeah, I love this, and I just do not have enough of this in my stash. So $7.99 on sale, normally $8.99. Let's see, Lime Brand Pound of Love. So this is similar to the Karen 1 pound. So it's a full pound of yarn, which is 16 ounces, 1,000 yards. And it's a number 4 medium, and it's $12.99 when it's on sale. I don't think I have any Pound of Love in my stash. I don't think I've ever used it. So I don't know how it works up. But Lion Brand's Vanna's Choice, I remember when Vanna had she had a big line of yarn. I think it's getting smaller and smaller over the years. But I do find this a pleasure to work with. At the time, I found the price to be a little high for only 3.5 ounces or 100 grams of yarn. I did find the price to be a little high. But I do like it. The red brick color, I like that. The rust, the mustard, honey. I have honey currently in my stash. Dusty green. I think I just started a project with Radiant Lime, and it's from Vanna's Choice, but Radiant Lime is not listed here. I don't know if they still make it. I've had Fisherman, Beige. I think I have Colonial Blue currently in my stash. But yeah, I like Lime Brand Vanna's Choice. I just wish this skeins were bigger. I wish I got a little bit more yardage out of it. Premier, oh, this is the cotton page. Okay, so Hipster Cotton, which I love these colors, but again, not a big fan of working with cotton. Kobo, Kobu, Kobu, C-O-B-O-O. So it'd be Kobu. Cotton. Premier Cotton Fair. So I'm going to skip the cottons. Burnett Softy Cotton. Up here in the corner that you can't see because I've got my hands up and out of frame. Premier Afternoon Cotton. Willow Farms Farmhouse Cotton, and Willow Farms is a company. It's a sister company with Herrschner's. Okay, some sock yarn, and I recently just found out that it's not pronounced Pattons, it's pronounced Paytons because it's the family name. So I'm working on saying that right now, saying it right. The right way. So these are number 1 super fine sock yarns. I've had Croy socks from Peyton's in and out of my yarn stash over the years. I don't make socks with it. I usually just hold it double with other yarn to make other things. Oh, yeah, okay, hold on. I gotta stretch my legs for a minute. Okay, I like this one here. It is a 75% wool, 25% nylon blend. It's a 50-gram ball of yarn. I love this color here. It's called Midnight Orchid. And I know this tiny little picture does not do that justice, but I love that color. And then Willow Yarns Stripey Socks, so you can make your socks with stripes. Let's see. Premier Trinket. 75% acrylic, 25% nylon blend. Oh, it's an interesting yarn. Lion Brand Mandala String. I actually just bought a skein of this, a ball of this from Herrschner's a couple months ago to go along with a project. I've got, what color do I have? I think I have this color down here, Ballad, because I was looking for some neutrals. It's a, so while it is 100% acrylic, it's got a bit of a sheen and a satin feel to it. But I like it well enough. I'd like to try out some of those other colors, but I don't have a project in mind for it. And then Premier Fruits. Super fine. I love this page in the middle. We're almost to the middle of the catalog. It is Stitch More, Spend Less. Oh, I love that. Stitch More, Spend Less. Shop more deals at Herrschners.com/value yarns. Oh, I could do commercials for a living, huh? Soho Mystical Chenille. 100% polyester. And it is a number 5 bulky. Sundance Sweets. I do have a couple of these in my stash. I think I've got the color Cotton Candy. I bought it the last time they were on sale. I only spent like $2 on them. But I want some of the other colors, like Jelly Beans, Gumdrops. So it's a number 4 medium weight acrylic. Let's see, Scrubby Yarn. Department 71 Silhouette. 70% acrylic and 30% polyester. I don't know, that's giving me Lion Brand homespun vibes. Soho Classic Spun. I don't know, doesn't speak to me. Willow Yarns Wisp. It is 45% acrylic, 30% alpaca, and 25% wool blend. Ooh, I bet you that is soft. A wool blend with alpaca and acrylic. But these are little 3.5 ounce balls of yarn. I don't know, that looks kind of cute. And then Herrschner's Timeless Tweed. 60% acrylic, 30% wool, 10% viscose blend. I've only got 4 colors. And then we're almost to the middle. I see, like this one right here, I typically don't even look at this. It's got personalized woven labels, pre-quilted baby quilts. I don't know. A lighted ornament tree. I mean, so they do sell some other stuff. And look at this old form mail-in, old school mail-in form. That's crazy. With the envelope built in, right? Crazy. Alright, so let's see. Willow Yarns Dusk. 80% wool, 20% alpaca. I bet you that's super soft. Soho Playful. Soho Cloud Cozy. Polyester. Herrschner's 2-ply classic Afghan yarn. I wonder if these are colors that they're like discontinuing or something. Oh no, it's their Afghan yarn, but in a bigger skein. So it's got more yardage. Oh, nice. So then $1.25, but hurry, quantities are limited. Glitzy Glam. Wildflowers, what is that? This is an acrylic wool blend. I think this is something like scrubby cotton yarn. and Sparkle Lash. So it's eyelash yarn with some sparkles in it. Okay, let's see. Karen Colorama Haze. I don't think I've I don't even think I've seen that in the store. 48% polyester, 42% acrylic, 9% nylon, 1% spandex. It's 8 ounces and it's $12.99. Oh, I wonder if they're using this for the sweater over here. Premier DK colors in a cake. Okay, number 3 light. I do like some of these colors here. I have had Rose Garden and Sunshine. I've made blankets out of these that are in my project pile that you guys have not seen in a video yet. I still have so many blankets in my project pile that I didn't even get to yet. If I remember correctly, I really did enjoy working with this. I found it soft and a pleasure on the hook. So Lion Brand Wool Ease Fair Isle. I love the way this yarn works up. I love this pink mushroom color, golden taupe. I like this sage and the pink salt. I really, really do enjoy these colors. But it's a 5-ounce ball, 348 yards for $9.99. And I understand because it's an acrylic wool blend. I get that. I love acrylic wool blends, like those original Karen cakes were 80% acrylic and 20% wool. I do love that. I just, because I make blankets, I don't make small things. The cost of the yarn, because like look at the sweater over here. That is beautiful. I like the way that worked up. And I can just see that in a blanket and I would love it, but I can't afford that price. Bernat lattice. It's a lattice-like construction. I don't even know what that means. Somebody will have to explain it to me down in the comment section. Premier Sweet Rolls. I started buying these when they first came out, and I have loved them from that day up until this day. I still do love them. A lot of the colors that I used, 10 years ago, they no longer make those. Some of them they do. Raspberry Swirl, I think they still make. That I had in my stash. Melon Pop, Peaches and Cream. Oh yeah. Black and Pepper Swirl, Silver Swirl. So many of these went into my Jacob's Ladder blanket that came out to be like 10 feet long. So it is acrylic. It's 5 ounces. It's $5.99 a cake. And I love this. This is good. According to my camera, that's like 40 minutes of filming so far. So then, of course, with the Premier Sweet Roll, they came up with some newer colors that they're calling Vivid. And yeah, these colors are super bright. I don't know if I'd want to use those because they almost look too bright, and I think maybe your stitches would get lost. So it depends on what you're making, whether or not you would want to use those colors. Okay, let's see. Premier Color Fusion. When I've seen this in the catalog, I'm like, yeah, okay, I like some of these colors. So it's acrylic. And they're calling it Speckled Stripes. Or at least that's how they're defining it. Yarn that creates effortless speckled stripes in your projects. So 3.5 ounces, $4.99. But these colors, like this blue and green down here, it's called Springtime. The blues and the browns in this Maui color. Yeah, I would love to get my hands on some color fusion from Premier. Oh, it's a number 3 light DK weight. Yeah, I'm going to have to put that on my list of things to try out someday. Lion Brand Ferris Wheel. It's cake yarn. It's 3 ounces, so it's a small cake. $4.99. I think I just picked up a skein of this, or a cake of this at the thrift store, actually. Or something similar. Maybe it was their cake of tweed, maybe. I think I keep getting the Lion Brand tweed and Ferris wheel mixed up. And then Red Heart Roll With It Melange. Acrylic, 5.5 ounces. Mix it up with cakes of rich jewel tones. Yeah, okay. I like this color right here. It's called Showtime. But the rest of them are a little too dark for me. But that one, I like that one. And then, oh, Lion Brand Mandala Gradient. Yeah, okay. Sign me up for that. 5.3 ounces, 150 grams, 295 yards for $8.99. They've got light pink, hot pink, burgundy, olive, yellow, red, sea green, aqua, dark teal, black, purple, and steel blue. Yes, please. I would love to get my hands on that. So I guess this is what it looks like when you're working it up in a blanket. Maybe in a sweater. Yes, I love that. And then let's see, Lion Brand Landscapes Renewed. Self-striping colorways. Nature's Palette. Eco-friendly yarn. 75% polyester and 25% recycled polyester. No. I mean, I don't know. Looks okay. Premier Spun Colors. A mixture of spun and solid colors lends a unique look with rich colorations to your knit and crochet projects. 65% acrylic and 35% fine merino superwash blend. Nice. The colors are still a little too dark for me. But I like an acrylic and wool blend. Because that's what merino is, wool. And superwash means that it's been treated so you can wash it in the washer and not have to hand wash it. I think. I have to say, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Colossal number 7. Bulky. No, that's not even bulky. It's 7 jumbo. 7 jumbo. Color Fusion that comes in a chunky. Plastic hooks. I'm not a fan of plastic hooks. I might have 1 or 2 in my collection, but I don't like them. Premier Canyon colors. Is this just their version of variegated yarns? I'm not a big fan of when they put in knit samples instead of the end of the skein so I can see what these colors look like. I'm not a big fan of the knit samples. I don't knit, so my working up with this yarn, it wouldn't look like this. Premier Serenity Chunky in solid colors because, you know, 20 pages back they had it in the variegated colors, so these are solid colors. Number 5 bulky, 3.5 ounces for $3.99. I don't know. A Premier Spice Shop. Self-striping colorways, bold, roving wool blend. Not a big fan of that either. And then the page with the books. Okay, now how many of these do I have? I have Tunisian books. No, I don't have those. And then a series of books called 20 to Make. Knitted baby hats, scarves, Christmas, animal granny squares. Ooh, just regular granny squares, 20. So there's 20 patterns in here of things to make. 20 flowers to knit, 20 flowers to crochet. Well, that's fun. Cables, shawls and garments. I don't have any of those. Let's see, the Granny Square card deck. I've seen this, but I don't have it. I have my own books on Granny Squares. You'd think I'd have more of these with a channel name of Granny Square Peg, but I do not. Blankets and throws. No, I don't have any of those. Novelty. Nope. I see I do have a beginner's guide to crochet, but not this one. Stitches card deck. I think this is a brilliant idea to take the stitches and put them on a card so you can make up a sample. I think it's brilliant. Let's see, crochet hooks and knitting needles, hook cases, oh, a stool that you could put your feet on, more cases to hold everything in a flower print. I don't like that. Takumi bamboo circular needles, Clover Amore hooks, which I have had. Clover Amore hooks. I had the H and the F, maybe. I actually just recently sold them in my eBay shop because the Clover Amore hooks, they're too short for my hands and they hurt. A bunch of stitch markers, yarn threader, this little pendant that has blades in it so you can cut, pattern holder, a row counter, these Addy crochet hooks. These are interesting. That curved shape that they've got going on there. I would love to try one of these out, but yeah. How much are they when they're sold singly? Wow, $17 each? $19 each? That's expensive for a crochet hook. There's a knitting machine. I see sassy giftable mugs. So it's a mug that looks like a ball of yarn with a handle and some kind of saying on there that I cannot read. This one I can read. It says knit happens. And let's see, boy crochet hooks. Yes, most of my hooks are from Boy. Stitch markers, darning needles. A wooden yarn butler. Yes, let's get one of those. Lights, magnifiers, copper fit gloves. Now I do have gloves. Mine are not copper fit, but they are the therapeutic compression gloves. I got them from Amazon. About a yarn guide to go over your finger. Scissors, a swatch ruler and needle gauge. About a yarn drum. Put all your yarn in a drum and carry it around. Nah, I don't need that. Bedside yarn and crafts organizer. Nope, I don't crochet in bed. More organizers under the storage. These are the pages I don't typically buy anything from. Must have tools and accessories. Yeah, I don't know. A ruler blanket. This chic plaid blanket is practical too. The gridded pattern is spaced in 1/4 inch increments. 1/4 of an inch. Allowing you to quickly measure your stitching progress as you snuggle up with your project. They built the ruler into the blanket. It's a spacing guide. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Rechargeable light up hook. A needle gauge necklace. Now, why would you put that in a necklace and then wear that? About a yarn counter with clamp. Clamp this yarn counter next to your ball winder to measure yarn as you wind it. Counts in 1 foot increments up to 1,000 feet. Oh, so you can check your yardage. Nice. Susan Bates bamboo. Bamboo hooks. I do have 2 of those in my with my hooks. I do enjoy them. Susan, more plastic hooks down here. Another digital row counter. Pom-pom makers. I do have a set of the Clover pom-pom makers. Pattern chart marker set. Crochet hooks that have the dots on them, but it's not from the Prim company or the other company. The Yarn It, where you put your yarn in this little ball and you walk around with it. Nope. No, thank you. Storage bags. The Boy ergonomic aluminum crochet handle. I do have this. I bought this 10-15 years ago and don't use it. Maybe when I'm older and arthritis is a really big thing. Maybe. Now we get to the baby yarn. Baby yarn section is always my favorite because of all the pastels. I love it. Herrschner's Baby and Baby Sparkle, so you can get it plain or you can get it with the metallic thread through it that gives it that sparkle. Love that. Number 3 Light. Now I typically don't like using the sparkle yarn on baby stuff. I don't feel like it's safe, but I don't know why people are always putting sparkle in baby stuff. Herrschner's Sweet Swirls yarn kind of looks like the Premier Puzzle yarn. The number 3 Light. I do enjoy all of these colors. I would love to get my hands on this. Let's see. It's 100% acrylic, 7 ounces, 200 grams, 612 yards for $7.99 at regular price and $6.99 for a sale price. Yeah, and the Premier Sweet Swirls, I would really love to get my hands on that. So that's definitely going on my list of things to try out. And then, you know, the Herrschner's 2-ply yarn, they did it in baby colors. Now I like those little variegated colors down there. That's cute. And then more baby yarn. Oh, I like the multicolored ones. Oh, I do have these. I have some of these. Okay, all right. So it's the worsted 8. So that means it comes in an 8-ounce skein. All right. And then these are the baby colors. I have some of these multicolors down here. I want to say Kiddie Pool. And it's either Tiara or Goldfish. But I would love to have all these colors so I can put them in my Patchwork Squares blanket. So then they did it in solids. And then they did it in stripes. I definitely need to get my hand on this. I wonder if they're still on sale at $4.47 a piece. Since I'm getting ready to place Herrschner's order. Since shipping has been discounted. Oh, there's my favorite. Look at that. Lion Brand ice cream yarn. Look at this sample up here. Isn't that like very similar to what I've been doing with my yarn? I swear I did not get the idea out of this catalog because this catalog just came in the mail and my panels were done in like 2015, 2018, something like that. Oh, look at those colors. All right, so I've had strawberry. I think I currently have twin berry cheesecake. I think I bought that at Joann's before they went out of business. Bunny Tracks, that's in my Granny Square blanket. Lemon Meringue, I have that. Tutti Frutti, love that one. I want Cherry Jubilee. Cotton Candy I would like. I've used mint, blueberry, cookies and cream, cake batter, grape. I love the Lion Brand ice cream yarn. It's 100% acrylic, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 394 yards, and it's a number 3 light DK weight yarn, and I absolutely love it. I don't know how I feel about these newer colors that they got that are a bit heathered. I don't know. I haven't used any of them. I haven't bought any of them. Like, passion fruit, turtle tracks, yeah, Smurf. I haven't used any. Oh, I've used Love Potion. So then Premier Sweet Roll Fruits, number 4 medium weight. Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure what they were going for there when they did these. I do, however, like these little snuggle buddies down here. These are fun. I don't know. I think I'd like to try to make one of those. I like the bunny. And then Premier Fable, it's a number 6 super bulky. 90% acrylic, 10% polyester. Those are some pretty colors. I don't know what I would do with that. Let's see. Bernat Softy Baby. I've used this off and on over the years. I've had pink flannel, baby pink marl, baby denim marl. I think I have the gray marl still in my stash. Blue flannel I had at some point. I like how they did this. this baby blanket, they did it half in what, purple and then half in pink. I do this in a fair amount of my blankets. You guys should see the ones in my stash where I did pink and blue and put them in the same blanket and just left them like that. Bernat Baby, number 6, super bulky. And then all the cotton, so you can make bucket hats, dishcloths, cotton that comes on a cone, scrubby yarn, so you can make a bag, you can make scrubbies. Herrschner's suds and scrub yarn. Cotton yarn. Oh, some pretty colors. I do like the variegated colors. Lily Sugar and Cream, and this is the stuff that I always fight with Lily Sugar and Cream. And then the other company, the Peaches and Cream. These are the cottons that I grew up with, and they're the cottons that I just cannot work with. Let's see. You can make wall hangings, wreaths, floral dishcloths, and some blanket kits that they have on sale. Thread cotton. I've never worked with thread cotton. Cotton thread, another footrest. Some amigurumi patterns for dolls, ballerinas, some gnomes for Christmas, bats for Halloween, little chicks and bunnies for Easter, some amigurumi books, safety eyes, yarn specifically for amigurumi. I do like the little kitty cat. This page is called Hooked on Cuteness, because look, there's a little happy hedgehog plushie using the polyester yarn. Let's see, some snakes. It's fun. Yeah, I guess this is the only time I would use the bulky yarns, is to make something like a snake or a hedgehog. Yeah, bunnies and bears. And this is the last page and the back page where they would usually put your address. Some critter cuddlers. Oh, those are cute. It's a pig, a dog, a cat, a bear. Those are actually cute. I like those. Probably made out of their squishy yarn. Nice. Okay, my friends, that's it for the Herrschner's catalog. And I have a lot of fun going through these catalogs. There are some yarns that I really do want to try, and others maybe not so much. And sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with the yarn itself, but it has to do with the color choices. So if it's a company other than Herrschner's and their own brand of yarn, like Premier or Red Heart or Karen, you can always go to their websites and see if there are different colors than what Herrschner's is currently selling or carrying in their catalog. Because that's what I have to do sometimes. Like if a yarn really does speak to me because of its fiber content or the way it looks, then I will go check their website and see if they have different colors, because sometimes these colors just do not do the yarn justice. So what I did was, one of my older catalogs that I had, I actually went through, and anything that I have in my yarn stash, I actually cut that out of the catalog and put it off to the side. Like, okay, so I do have some Red Heart speckles. I have this pink in my stash. So I would just cut this out and I put it off to the side. I have it in a jar. So when it's time to go through my yarn stash and just pick something to work on, maybe I'll pick it out of the jar and do a random thing. But then I'm also going to, like this this ripple blanket right here. I really like this, and I really like the colors here. So I'm actually just going to cut this out, okay, with the little description and probably the yarn that they used for it, and I'm going to put them together, and I'm going to put it in my pile of things that I want to look into, that I want to try, that maybe I want to buy. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going through these and picking out the things that I want. There's one, there's a Halloween blanket in one of these catalogs that's made with a yarn that they called Witch's Brew, and it's 2 or 3 shades of green with 2 or 3 shades of purple with maybe something towards a black, and they did it in a corner to corner, and I absolutely love it. It's so adorable. But the thing is, the minute it came out, everything sold out because I think everybody loved that yarn as much as I did, and I missed out on the kit for the blanket, and I missed out on the yarn. The yarn is always out of stock whenever I check their website, so it's something that I want to keep checking in on, so at some point I can get the kit so I can make the blanket, because I really love Halloween colors as a palette. Is one of my favorite color palettes. I really do enjoy the oranges and the greens and the purples for Halloween, and I really want to get my hands on it. So I'm going to be going through these and picking out blankets that speak to me and the color palettes that speak to me, and taking them out and keeping them. I'm not sure how I'm going to store them, but I can't keep storing them in the catalogs like this. This is because I'm decluttering everything in my house. I just can't keep these like this, since Herrschner's sends out so many for the season. I mean, seriously, look at this. For spring of 2025. I mean, spring lasts 3 months, right? This is 6 sitting right here. Okay? And the 7th one is the one I just filmed for you guys. I can't keep all these, you know, especially since the inside is all the same stuff, and it's just this outside supplement part that changes depending on their sales. So I am going to go sit in my computer. I am going to put my order together to get some of the 2-ply Afghan yarn in black, so I can start working on my sweater. I think that's the next project I want to work on when I'm done with the Lime Brand ice cream yarn. But I'm not going to take you guys along for that, because I don't like screen recording on the computer, and I don't like talking through it. It doesn't feel natural because I'm not actually talking to the camera. I'm just talking out loud. I don't like it. So I'm not going to show you that, but I will show you my order when it comes in. Oh, right. I got to check and see what their sale is. So hold on one second and I'll be right back. Okay. So I went to Herrschner's website. They're having an annual online warehouse sale where things can be up to 75% off, okay? But now that won't be everything. It'll just be whatever they decided, okay? So it's free shipping on orders $60 and over, which I don't plan on spending $60 to get free shipping. And then it's $4.95 shipping on orders $35 and over, and $35 I could probably do, because I need a lot of yarn in order to make a sweater. Lion Brand, on their website, they give you they help you out and say, well, if you're going to make a blanket, you need 6 skeins of this and 800 yards, you know, and if you're going to make a sweater, an adult size sweater, you're going to need like 1,200 yards. So I want to thank Lion Brand for having that little cheat sheet on their website. So it lets me know how much yardage I'm going to need to make a sweater, and especially since I'm making it for my size, you know. So I might be spending $35 on yarn so I can get shipping for $4.95, because unfortunately, as much as I love shopping at Herrschner's, their shipping rates, and it's not their fault because it's what the post office is. Their shipping rates, their lowest shipping rate is $12.99. So when you're buying at Herrschner's, you really do have to make sure that you're buying enough yarn to balance out the $12.99 shipping fee. So when they're having sales like this and shipping is $4.95 for your order of $35 or more, I think it's a good way to go. It's cost effective that way. So I hope you guys liked going through the catalog. I hope the camera angle wasn't too bad. I did the best that I could. Why am I apologizing for that? I don't know. For that one person out there who doesn't like the way I film, I'm going to apologize, but I really shouldn't have to. But I do. Because I take everything so personally. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did. I enjoyed flipping through the catalog with you guys. Herrschner's is a pretty cool place to go shopping. And since all of my brick and mortar stores are all shutting down, I got to do all my shopping online nowadays. And how are you supposed to try out a new yarn unless there is a sale? So you can get it super cheap and some really good shipping prices, so you can get it super cheap, so you can try it out. You know, I'm willing to do that. You know, if there's something in that catalog that you guys want to see and you want to try out, but you're afraid to go shopping for it, let me know down in the comments below. I will see what I can do. Okay? I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.